Hello, I'm Becky Roesler. I have Becky's Junk Journals on Instagram and on YouTube. I am thinking about changing the name just to Becky's Journals, like I am on Instagram. I'm Becky's Journals. So anyway, today I'm going to show you how I make journal covers. And basically, not so much how I make journal covers, but how I decorate the fronts of my journal covers, fronts and backs. And I've tried several different things, and I do it different every time, but I'm going to give you the general step-by-step process that I go through. So I guess today's video is a show and tell and sort of a process. So here are two recent journals. So these are the ones I'm currently working on. I'm not anywhere near finished. I've got all the pockets in and I'm starting to decorate the pages. And it's already getting full. But these are one signature journals with a rounded spine. They are fabric covered. This one is a teal colored velvet. And then on the front, I did lots of lace and other decorations on it to finish it out. And on the back, there are two things of lace. And the reason is this covers up ink seepage that seeped through the fabric, then left marks on my fabric. But it was the only way that I could figure out to make it look like it belonged there. But I like the way it looks. I think it's better than just a plain back anyway. And when I finish this journal, I'll run ribbon through here to bring it around the front and tie in the front. On this one, it's more paper products than it is lace on the front. This is sort of a cotton fabric, very bohemian looking, and it also has the holes in the back that'll run through. And I've put the pockets and some things in this one, but I've just barely got started on this one to decorate the inside. So these are the two I'm currently working on. So I'm going to show you my process of making and decorating journals. Here is a journal that I made from an old Reader's Digest book. And I just did this. I loved the front cover of the old Reader's Digest book. The spine was just about, I'm going to get it. Hold on a second. There it is. I took the contents of the book out, used my X-Acto knife and cut down the edges on either side. And then I left the spine, the original spine that was on it was sort of a rounded spine, and it was starting to split along the edges right here. So I reinforced it with actually it goes this way. I reinforced it with layers of Tyvek all the way around, and then it's got fabric on top of that all the way around to reinforce that spine. And now I think it's going to hold up just fine. And I'm going to put probably, since this is just a little over an inch on the spine, it's about 1.25 inches on the spine. What I'm going to do is I'll probably put 2 small signatures in this, and I might make it a writing journal, which I don't use, which means that I will probably make this one to give away, or if anybody's interested in purchasing it, just drop me a line by direct message or email and let me know. But anyway, here's how I do. I get my cover that I want to use in the journal. I get it done first, and then I decorate the cover. Sometimes I will hold off on decorating the cover until I've sewn in the signatures, but in this case, I've decided that I am going to go ahead and gather up lots of things. I gathered up a whole lot of things that would inspire me to make a book plate or some kind of decoration on the front of this journal. And also, this decoration would give me the basic personality of how the rest of the journal is going to look. There'll be a lot of blue and white in this one because the cover is blue and white. But I'm also, here's some fabrics that I chose. I'm going to use the fabric that I used on the spine. I'm going to reuse that somehow in the cover, in the book plate that goes on the front. I'm going to reuse that somehow. And then I chose another fabric that will layer on, probably on the top of that, like that. Then I chose a wide lace that is, I'm not sure yet where it will end up, whether it's going to go here and be like that, probably as I layer it, probably be like that. And then I have other things which to inspire me, which I may or may not use, but I've got this embossed cardstock right here that I really like, and I think that would be nice on the cover. And then I found this, which I thought I liked. I really liked bringing a touch of the reddish tones in, and it's got some blue, so I think I will use this somewhere on the cover too. This right here I picked as an inspiration. I could make this into a cover plate, but I think what I'll probably end up doing with this is letting it inspire the rest of the journal. This is a postcard, an antique postcard that I got, and I think that I may turn it into a pocket on the inside front cover. I also picked up some more laces that I thought that I might like to use, and all of these things will be stacked. And I picked up this one, which I thought I might like to use too. So all of these things are here to inspire me. I may not necessarily use everything that's here, but I've got it gathered together, and what I will do is I'll decide on what is going to be the base, and that's probably, I think it's going to be this one, and I'll cut out a large square, and then I will put a smaller square of the blue and white. And then I may put lace. See, there's just lots of different ways, and so you just juggle until you find what looks best to you. What I'm going to do in a minute is I'm going to cut this stuff down further. I've already cut it down from larger pieces of fabric, and then I'm going to cut it down to usable size once I make my decision, and I'll show you how I decided to do it. And this may go right inside that front cover. I'm just not sure. It's too antique-y looking for the cover on this one to me. But let me show you another one that I have put together with my inspiration. It's not as refined as this inspiration, but the next thing I will do is This one is a lot of stuff, and this is how I originally start out. I have a lot of stuff, and then I cut it down, make it smaller amounts, and then I make it even smaller amounts for the actual purposing. But this dogwood flower is my inspiration, and this is an old book that I'm going to turn into a journal. I'm going to replace the spine on this one. I'm going to make it a 2-inch spine, and I'm going to leave this on the inside front cover because I like the way that looks. And here's the original book. It's Goth, if you know any of that. It's an old book on Goth or Goth, G-O-E-T-H-E. I don't even know how to pronounce it. But anyway, I'll put together this book with a 2-inch spine. And if you'd like to know how I do that, I've got other videos on putting, adding reinforced spines. Then my first piece of inspiration for this book was this piece of fabric. And I think that I will probably put this over the whole book, or just piece it out. I don't have enough to cover the whole book, so I'll probably have to decide on how I want to place it on there. But I've decided that I want to use this fabric on the front, and then I've got some inspiration. I've got an old greeting card. I've got some Tim Holtz wallpaper that I'm playing with to inspire me. I've got this, which I could turn into a pocket, say, on the back of the either the front or the back of it. I've got this piece of pink embossed cardstock. I've got another postcard to inspire me. These are all things that I will eventually use in the journal, but that's just how I've got my color scheme going. I'm looking at golds and kind of a peachy pink and browns and beiges and metallic golds. I picked up these other things that I'm going to lay out, but I won't use all of it on the cover. I'll pick out the best way to I think I'm probably going to use this type of thing on the cover. I think this is how my cover will end up being. I want it to be sort of a pink and white, off-white. But I've got these other things that I can add in, cut up, and just use pieces of it. Anyway, this is how I get started on decorating a cover. I get all my inspiration pieces together, and then I cut everything down to size once I figure out how the first piece is going to fit on it. Whether I'm going to cover the whole thing in fabric, or whether I'm just going to use part of it like that. I could use just part of it and leave the whole back. Now let me get this one finished up. I've got finished cutting off this edge here, and see how this edge is. I've got to cut off all that, trim it up nice and neat before I can put my new spine in between. And I'll use 2 pieces of cereal box cardboard glued together as my spine. And then I'll put down Tyvek over the whole spine, and then I'll put down some kind of fabric over the whole spine. And once I get that together, I'll show you how I decorate it. Okay, so this is the first part, is gathering all the inspiration stuff together. And even though you may not use everything, you may use it all in the whole journal. But anyway, I've got it all within one of these giant rubber bands. I've just got it rubber band together so I can work on this project whenever I get around to it. I enjoy working on covers as in between projects, and when I had my friend Terry over for a play date in my studio the other day, I finished up this cover, and it really wasn't hard at all to finish up this cover. And then it took me probably about an hour thinking about this, to think how I wanted to finish with it. So it's not a fast process for me, or I'd sit here and go through it. I'm going to play with these and with this one, and then I'll come back and show you what my decisions for decorating them be. First, I'll narrow my choices down like I did on this one, and then I'll come back and show you what my decision. I also have another journal that I'm already gathering fabrics and different things together. Terry brought me some fun fabrics to play with, and excuse me. So this one is in the deciding stage, and I've been playing with this for about an hour on this one too, trying to decide what I want. But I'm only going to put together this journal and this one for now, and I will be back shortly. Okay, it's been about an hour or so since you last saw me, and I have narrowed down the things that I'm going to put on the journal cover. And this is all the stuff that I didn't use, but I will use somewhere else in the journal for some continuity throughout the journal. So I can use this fabric for pockets, or I can use this piece of paper that is left over. I mean, I save everything. So it's narrowed down to this. I decided that I tried lots of different ways. I tried this fabric across the front cover, and I kind of liked it, but I thought, well, you know, what's the purpose of having this wild original cover of the Reader's Digest, so unless I let it show through. So I'm going to let it show through, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to layer it on the front and let that wildness just be wild. And I'm going to do it right this minute too. I'm using my Fabri-Tac glue by Beacon. I'm just going to run a bead, a thin, very thin bead. You don't have to glue these down on all edges on the front cover. You can let some of it be loose, and it kind of is nice with it looking kind of fluffy. And then I'm just going to eyeball. I think I want it right about there. Maybe a little bit. There. That's where I want it. And I can always add more glue. Of course, this is going to be on the bottom. I give it a good stretch when I press it down. Try to get the air bubbles out of it. And that way it'll stay stuck. I've got the Distress Oxide ink. I used Faded Jeans along the edges of the paper. I thought that was the best color for it. And I'll probably will use that throughout the rest of the journal. And this, oops, better put that pile out of the way. This Let's see, how did I have it? This is the right side. I did it sort of like that. Sort of wonky. All right, more glue. And gets it tacked down on top of that. It's not covering up my grommet hole there for the ribbon to go through, my ribbon tie. Okay, that's tacked down very good now. It's not going anywhere, and this Beacon Fabri-Tac glue dries super fast. I'm just kind of giving it a blot there. See, that's my base. The next thing to add is the paper, and I'm putting more glue on the back of this paper because it's going on top of the fabric, and I want all the edges glued down on this one. The fabric, if some of the edges lift up a little bit, I'm okay with that. But the paper I want to be stuck down all the way. I think I like it that way better. On there with a little bit of lace going around the edges. Put that back in there, make it easier to work. Press it down real good all the way around. Now, doesn't this look better with the edges of that paper with a little ink on around it? Okay, now we're ready for this. And I have put the glue mostly through the middle where that cardboard or cardstock is. How does that look? Get it straight. It's coming along. Yeah. Okay. Still needs a little something. And of course it's going to have the ribbon. And I have a royal blue, this color, royal blue satin ribbon that will go through there. Okay, it's all stuck down there pretty good now. That stuff dries so fast, it's great. It's not really dry all the way through, but it's grabbing. And once it's grabbing on there, that's what you want. Now, it needs a little finishing touch. And I think it just needs a little bit more texture. And what I'm going to do is cut these flowers up and add them in different spots. I think I want one right there. And then we'll put one right there. And then a third one will probably go up here, right there, up a little bit higher, there. Always best to work in triangles, work in threes, odd numbers. Now, does that look finished to you? Or I could keep adding. I could keep adding more of these little flowers. I've got plenty of it. It's some ribbon I bought. Does it need one there? And one less there? It's hard to tell sitting down. I think it kind of does need one down below, doesn't it? Let's take that one off and see how that does. I like that. Okay, let's do it then. And let's make sure we get them glued on the right side. There is a back and a front. The front on these is shiny. Now I'm tacking it down to start with. And I can always add more glue. It's going to be up there. It would look better if they were together. I think so. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. Tell me what you think. I'm not going to do the other one today because I haven't gotten the cover put together yet. I need to make a spine for it, and I haven't done that yet today. But that will be my cover. I like that. It's very me. And it's just layers, layers and layers. Alrighty, I'll show you the next cover as one. If you're interested, let me know if you want to see if I'm going to see me do the next one, the pink one too. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.